What shall we talk about?
I think during the last talks we have talked about the question of intelligence, a bit we have touched it, and how to bring intelligence to our life so that somehow intelligence operates in our life.
Yes, sir.
And I wonder if we could
Pursue that. Right. You have a question?
When and why will a human being genuinely ask, what is intelligence? Related to this question.
Why do we ask?
And when?
When do we ask, what is intelligence?
Genuinely ask.
Yes. Any other question?
I wonder, what is the morning meeting for?
You have?
What is the morning meeting for?
The morning meeting. What is the morning meeting for?
Good Lord. Any other?
Why do you give these talks?
Huh?
Why do you give these talks? And
Why do you give talks? Would you like me to shut up?
Now, what is the purpose that you, if you have any purpose by giving this talk?
Why do I talk? I really, I'm
How do you know all these things you're speaking about? How do you know all these things you're speaking about?
How do you know when you are becoming to be intelligent?
Yes. How do you know all that you're talking about? Not from books, not from other people, ancient books or modern books, modern philosophy, and so on. I'll explain all this little bit as you go along. May I? Any other question?
How do you know when you start beginning to get intelligence? Or start becoming intelligent?
How do you know what intelligence is?
No, in yourself when you start to become more intelligent.
How can you tell you're becoming intelligent?
We'll find out presently.
It's so hard.
We were driving the other day, nearly 2 weeks ago, around the Pacific coast of California. It's a lovely morning. It has rained, and in general in California it doesn't rain that part of the year. And this is really lovely morning. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. and the Pacific was blue, light blue, so calm, like a great lake. It was not the same dark blue of the Mediterranean, but it was a light blue, and the sun was just touching it, making a great light on the sea. And in front of our car, Mrs. Zimmeris was driving, and it was a good car. On the bumper there was a sticker. The sticker said, "Question authority." So we are going to question authority this morning. And in questioning authority, we're going to find out for ourselves in the understanding of the very complex problem of authority, we begin to see what is for ourselves, what is intelligence. Why we follow, why we accept, why we obey. Whether authority and the acceptance of authority leads to intelligence. We're going to talk it over together, right? Right. Do you question authority? Whatever that word means. We won't go into the root meaning of that word, the etymological meaning, but authority. There are various kinds of authority. Right? The authority of the government, however rotten that government is. The authority of totalitarian governments. The authority of the policeman. The authority of a lawyer. The authority of a judge. The authority of the Pope. The authority of a priest. Right? All those are outside the scale. But invariably inside the scale there is the authority of experience, right? Of one's own experience, one's own convictions. Right? Are you following all this? Authority of one's own opinions. Authority of one's own convictions. I am convinced I am a great man. That becomes the authority. I am convinced I am a good poet. Where I may be a rotten poet, I am convinced. I am convinced about so many things. So, experience, knowledge become one of the sources of authority, right? Don't you follow? Because we are examining a very complex problem, the problem of authority. The authority of the parents, the authority of tradition, the authority of the majority of the voters, right? The authority of the specialists, the authority of scientists. There are several of them here. The authority of the Bible and the Indian so-called sacred books like the Bible and so on. The Quran, you know what the Quran is? The Bible of the Islam, of the Islamic world, the Muhammadan world. They accept that completely. Obey. So, there are many, many forms of authority. Right? Now, what do you question when you question authority? What are you questioning? The authority of rules, the authority of those educators who tell you, inform you. Now, please discuss this with me. Because in inquiring very carefully, step by step, and going deeper and deeper into this question, you will yourself begin to awaken your own intelligence. You understand? Your own perception, your own how to look at things intelligently without authority. Is this clear? Have I made my statement clear? You clear? Good. Are you quite sure? The authority that exists outside of us. Law, governments, the majority people who vote for a prime minister, the authority of the policeman, the authority of a lawyer, the authority of the surgeon, the scientists who are building the nuclear bomb, the authority of the totalitarian states, and so on and on, outside. Inside of us, I say I know, that becomes the authority. Or I am convinced, I am quite sure my opinion is correct. I am quite sure my experience tells me what to do. That becomes the authority. Or I have practiced certain discipline and that has become my authority. You see? So, we are going to question all this. The outer and the inner. The environment and the psychological realm. Clear? Now let's proceed. We are going to question not says right or wrong, but inquire, question, doubt, ask. Now let's begin. The authority of the policeman. Right? Do you question that?
Isn't it necessary?
Huh?
Isn't that necessary?
But question it first. Don't accept, don't say it's necessary. You see, you've already accepted authority.
Yeah, but there's not very much that we can do about it.
No, you can't do anything about it. Huh?
We don't want that kind of authority. We can't.
You don't want that kind of authority? Suppose I have been driving in France on the right side of the road, and I come here. I'm used to driving a car on the right side of the road in France, in Austria, and so on. I come here, and I keep to that side, right? To the right side. And there will be accidents, right? So I must, the policeman say, hey, get back. Go to the left. But if I insist on getting right, he'll give me a ticket. So I accept the authority of a policeman who tells me, you're driving in the wrong lane, please kindly go to the left. Because that's the custom, that's the law in this country. Right?
It's sensible, that
Huh?
That's quite sensible.
That's quite sensible, it is. Now, then, the authority of governments is much more complex. The authority of the government says you must become a soldier.